Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Adejoke Raji, and on this channel we discuss everything and anything around consumer protection and lifestyle. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Please endeavor to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notification bell. It is right beside the subscribe button. If you learned a thing or two from this video, please give this video a thumbs up and join the conversation in the chat box. Let me officially welcome you into Consumer Protection Month. Consumers globally are celebrated on 15th of March every year. So this is like a special edition to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day. And this year's theme, Fair Digital Finance, I would say personally is perfect timing, as I personally envisage some challenges in the sector in the nearest future. I visited the market in the Oshodi area of Lagos State. I bought some items and got some money from these POS merchants in the market because I had exhausted all the money I took with me to the market. So I withdrew, I took 30k to be precise, and he told me 300 naira. At this point, I had never paid anything above 200 naira for any POS transaction. So I negotiated 200 naira. But that if it was all fine with him, I could go to the nearest ATM to withdraw. But he said, okay, it's fine. He accepted my card, did the transaction, and I gave him 200 naira cash because he had previously asked if the money should be taken out of my account, and I said no. I didn't check my account balance while I was in the market until I was on my way. I was in traffic, so I decided to check, and I noticed another 200 naira was deducted from my account apart from the 30k. So I made sure I kept the receipt. The next time I needed to shop from that market, I made sure I went with my receipt and without cash, so I could withdraw from him. It was a lady who attended to me, so I started a conversation with her about who owns the shop and told her about my experience, that I came around August or September, and I narrated my whole experience to her, but I was loud enough so that everyone could hear me. I hadn't finished, the guy surfaced, but I pretended not to recognize him and told them my reason for coming back was to see if this is how they do things and to report them to the issuer. I'm trying not to mention the commercial bank's name, but he was trying to explain some jargons. But the bottom line of his entire speech was that the money was taken by the bank. I told him that was not my first time of using a POS, and that what usually happens is either the money or commission is taken from the customer's account, of course with the customer's consent, or it is being paid for by the customer cash, which is what I usually opt for. And in this case, I had paid twice, making a total of 400 naira for a 30k transaction. Anyways, I didn't pay for this new transaction, and I guess he was too surprised to see a troublesome customer like me. I mean, after about 3 solid months, I still came back to demand a refund. But I made sure to educate him to always inform his customers about it. That very day, I made up my mind to unravel the truth about the sector. I needed to know if his claims were right. So I went on Google to search, and I found out how to start a POS business, and I applied. I eventually got it in another commercial bank, not the same as his, in January. I informed my neighbors, and a decision like that wasn't a difficult one because it was much needed in my neighborhood. I make transfers and withdrawals for customers. I even open bank accounts for customers, and trust me, there is nothing like getting double debits or even paying 400 naira for a transaction of 30k. I currently have the price list, or what do I call it, and the highest a customer is required to pay for a 30k transaction is 250 naira. That is transactions, or let me say withdrawals, between 50 naira to 5,000 naira. The customer is required to pay 50 naira. For transactions between 5,001 naira to 10,000 naira, the customer is required to pay 100 naira. For withdrawals between 10,000 naira, 10,001 naira to 20,000 naira, the customer is required to pay 150. Transactions between 20,001 naira to 30,000 naira, the customer is required to pay 200 naira. Then transactions between 30,001 naira and above, the customer is required to pay 250 naira. I also have a not so pleasant experience with online money lenders, where prospective customers don't get to see or know their interest rates before taking it. It is also characterized by inflexible time of maximum of 6 months, whereby customers get to pay back the principal, as well as almost half the principal as repayments. My experience with the POS merchant isn't even the worst case scenario. There are some fraudulent operators in the sector who retain vital information from customers' ATM cards during the course of transaction, which brings me to saying that who regulates that sector? Recall a news report where residents of Adejoke South local government area of Delta State alleged that members of staff of some commercial banks who are into this business deliberately sabotage the bank's ATMs on non-availability of cash, leaving customers with no choice than to patronize them. It is important to note that popular commercial banks aren't even the major participants in this sector, thereby putting a strain on regulation. This year's theme calls for fair digital finance that is safe, inclusive, data protected, private, and sustainable for all consumers across the globe. And I want to encourage us all to join the cause by tweeting using the hashtag Fair Digital Finance to join the conversation. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Please give this video a thumbs up. You can also join the conversation on here in the chat box. Subscribe to join the family. Turn on post notification bell so that you can always get alerts of my videos. Until my next video, bye.